Hi, my name's Amanda Stephenson. I'm Philanthropy and Partnerships Manager here at the Motor Neurone Disease Association of South Australia. We're part of a national network of associations that support patients with motor neurone disease right across Australia. I was drawn to this role having lost my own mum to motor neurone disease in 2019 and wanting to help other families go through this process so that they don't feel so isolated and alone. And one of those people that I've met already on my journey here is Anthea.
I was brought into MND obviously because my mum passed away in last year, so only recently. It was quite emotional, very difficult, and I just wanted to raise awareness in the community of what's needed in the community. Met Amanda, and our experiences were so similar, so it was actually nice to meet you, and I didn't even realise until we met on that day how similar it was.
A lot of money goes into research and trying to find a cure and treatments for motor neurone disease. We're about 30 to 40 years away from that level of care. So part of what we do here at the Motor Neurone Disease Association is support families from literally the day of diagnosis right through the journey, and that doesn't end with a client passing away. As you can see here, we're bonded because of our shared experiences. From diagnosis, we can help clients and their families navigate government funding, the NDIS and the aged care systems to access funding to help them stay at home for longer. We can provide them with equipment that we've fundraised for, that we've been able to have collected in our warehouse, a range of equipment that can help them, from the simplest pieces of equipment like ramps and things to OB feeders, which can mean that the client can actually just have a meal with their carer without the carer having to feed them. So assistive technology, eye gaze wheelchairs, all sorts of things that we actually have in our warehouse that means if someone is in need of that piece of equipment, we can get it out to them relatively quickly so that there isn't a wait time of having to order it or it not being in stock somewhere. There's lots and lots of equipment, wheelchairs, beds, recliners, breathing apparatus, all sorts of things in our warehouse that we're able to hire out at a discounted rate to our clients so that they can access these things when they need it and as they need it. Yep. And one of the main things with motor neurone disease is it doesn't progress the same in every client. So what one client will need one week will differ to the next week. They can progress rapidly or slowly, and there is no linear path. Every client is different. Our OTs and allied health staff are there to help them navigate when things start to decline or what they might need at that next stage, even if it's just education on what might be the next stages and how they can help the family to support their loved one through the process of a terminal illness such as motor neurone disease.
Things that Dad could use to help have Mum there, because that was the most important thing. They wanted to be together. So.
And there's other bits of equipment we would love to be able to provide to our clients, and one of the things that we've discussed with Anthea and her family is a vehicle so that we can get clients out of the house and they're not quite so homebound, and they can do the things that they used to love to do. My mum used to love going for drives in the car, just being in the car, and that was something that they couldn't do once they were in wheelchairs and things. So.
My mum was a very social butterfly. She'd always be at the shopping centres, and we used to get her in the car and take her in the wheelchair, but it got to the point it was very hard for Mum to do that. So it would be an access cab, but it's there's time constraints because it'd be like, we'd go to the shop but Mum would have to go home quickly. So there was almost an anxiety and pressure for that. So in the end, Mum would say, I'll just be at home, and that was hard. I remember when Mum went to the nursing home, the ambulance took her up there, and she said she hadn't been along the beach, like it would have been probably a year, so she actually hadn't seen what we take for granted really. So it's things like that, and that's why I think a vehicle is really important. Yeah. I remember the night before the mum got diagnosed, I actually said, I hope it's not MND. That's the one thing I said to my husband. Mum went and had her test, nerve conduction studies, and they diagnosed her as MND. Dad didn't know what it actually meant. He's like, well, what is it? And I'm like, and I just sort of sunk going, wow, this is what it is. Still didn't fathom what it actually was. It took a long time. even after Mum passed away, Dad said he did not realise what he was going to expect. Even though we had support, it's actually when you're on that journey, it's so hard for that other person or carer looking after, knowing, oh my gosh, so, you know, you're told this will happen and this will happen, and then eventually, you know, you might need a breathing machine, but you're not actually understanding it until you're seeing it happen.
Yeah, until it's actually feels very final.
Yeah.
And the progression of the disease, 27 months from diagnosis to passing away for the average person, is a really short time for your family to have to grieve with you and support you and manage those symptoms and deal with. That is just so much, and it's so hard for everybody. So I guess what we aim to do as an organisation is support families and the clients going through it, so that there is things we can do that take away that stress. If it is that you need a motorised wheelchair going down from 1 week to the next, we can provide that, and that can take some relief away. We can provide neck brace to make life a little bit easier, and that you aren't going to go through motor neurone disease alone when you work with an association like MNDSA.
And to know there is that support network, and you're not alone. There is people out there to talk to as well, so it's important.
I think we can't make it better, but we can make it a little bit more dignified and help you enjoy the family time that you've got left, and that's the main thing that we can do.
Know that we've been talking about Big Ride a lot. It's been on Instagram and Facebook. It's an event that will go from Albury to Galway from the 10th to the 19th of April. It'll be a big event. It's a jet ski event, so that's why we've called it the Big Ride. And it's to support people living in the community with MND and raising awareness, especially through regional as well. It goes through a lot of the Murray country towns where people are affected, so it's important. It'll test you and it will be fun as well. So, and we're going to do a lot of things on the way. They'll be staying at, you know, different places. I think there was even talk of doing a barefoot lawn bowls night, bingo, things like that. So that'll help bring the community together as well, and it'll end in Galway. I'd like you to get all involved. Donations are awesome because it helps MND, and just trying to raise awareness as well for people out there. Ride, it is a long distance. It's down the river over 10 days, but it's not compared to someone that goes through MND. You can't even compare to that. So it's important to get on board, raise awareness, and it would be great to see everyone there.
Thanks for coming in. Now we'll talk to one of our OTs, Jess.
My name is Jessica Cook. I'm an occupational therapist, and I've worked with motor neurone disease on and off for the last 12 years. But full-time for the last 2 at MNDSA. I see my role as an occupational therapist as helping people to be as independent and as safe as possible. So I'll come in and I'll help them to give them opportunities to maintain independence, and that might be in the way of giving them a wheelchair so that they can access the community still, or it might be that they get an iPad or an eye gaze device or something like that, so they can continue speaking and communicating their thoughts and opinions. Or it could be some sort of feeding device to help them be able to continue to feed themselves. So yeah, I see my role mainly as just increasing independence and safety.